Well, Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the season finale of the Coach McVay Show, presented by Microsoft Surface. Week 18 is in their future, a trip to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. But in the meantime, Sean and the Rams have clinched a winning mark, have clinched a playoff spot, although we didn't know it until we took off from New Jersey last night. What was that like, sitting there on the tarmac?
It was good. We were big Steelers fans. It was fun. And what I think is really special about it, JB, is that these guys have earned it. And the mindset and mentality that they've had coming back from the bye, really saying, hey, let's attack the second half of the season. We're the third quarter of these 4 games, and then the fourth quarter with the one we have remaining. For them to go 6-1 and to play the way that they have and to be able to find ways to get some of these results, to continue to come together as a team, it's been really special. And, wasn't upset for the Steelers to go get one at Seattle to help secure and punch our ticket into the dance, man.
That was awesome. I mean, there's only one way to describe the game and your team since the bye, and it's 2 words, and I can't say it on the show. One of them's holy. Yeah. You know what the other one is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
It was... Man, we made that interesting, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think for us to be able to overcome all of those mistakes that are so correctable and still be able to have the resilience and the mental toughness and the physical toughness to just keep playing one more snap, that was pretty awesome. And, it was a good, we got the right kind of guys that can be such a blessing in disguise to not have to learn the hard way, but be able to learn where you kind of just feel it and hey, man, we were playing really well, had a couple things that were uncharacteristic in terms of our overall execution and communication, particularly on offense and defense, and I'm excited about us cleaning those things up and playing better ball moving forward.
Is the sentiment there, if you had a clunker, to get it out of your system now before you're in a one-and-done scenario?
What would you say?
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yes. No,
but it
really
kind of
is.
resets a sense of urgency when you had been hot for the month of December.
And that's why I think it was such a blessing in disguise. And I think when you look at it, finding different ways to win football games is really important, especially if you don't want to get out of yourself. It's one day at a time, one game at a time. But, when you get into this thing, you got to find a way to try to be able to win 4 in a row. And so that margin for error is so slim. The competition is so heightened at this point in the season, and the sense of urgency raises. And we're grateful for the result that we got yesterday and the learning opportunities that we'll be able to apply moving forward.
I haven't got through all of it, but dang, it seems like New York threw everything they could at you defensively.
They did. Wink Martindale does a great job, D'Marco. I got a ton of respect for him. I thought their players came out. They were ready to go. They made there was a concerted effort to apply pressure and to try to be able to, limit some of the different things that we were doing. I thought our guys executed really well early on. Really, we marched both of the opening drives right down the field. We had an unfortunate non-conversion on the 4th down and 3 where I think we're going in to score a touchdown, but they end up, zero pressure on us on the first play. They did a great job of creating some confusion that, we'll clean that up and we'll get that fixed on some of the 3rd downs where you saw Matthew take some sacks, but and then they force the turnovers. When you are a pressure outfit like that, it can be live by the sword, die by the sword. And you got a chance to be able to create some explosives, or they've got a chance to be able to create some problems. And it led to 3 turnovers for them yesterday. And for a team that's taken as good a care of the football as we have, I'm really, grateful that, that happened then. And now we can say what a big difference that makes. As well as we've played offensively, what we've done a really good job of is not turning the football over. And when you do it 3 times, and I really look at it as 4 when we didn't convert on the 4th and 3, to still be able to come away with the win was, very fortunate for us.
How about the way Raheem and the defense dealt with some of those sudden change moments? I think they only got 2 field goals going the other way.
It was huge. They did a great job. Raheem is so steady. Our players are so steady. I thought Aaron was a man. He was outstanding again yesterday, Kobe Turner. But there was a lot of things that won't show up on the stat sheet in terms of the amount of holdings that Aaron ended up drawing that ended up setting them back. But you're right. I think that's a really good point in terms of some of the sudden change stops that could have been really big factors and fortunately weren't as harmful as they could have been.
Where did he finish? 2 sacks? And Kobe Turner had 2.5?
2.5 to match Aaron's rookie record with 9.
So that's 17 sacks between 2 tackles. That's pretty darn good if you're asking me. As an old tackle, yeah. You got to be pleased with that.
Heck yeah. I'm pleased with the progression. It was it's been really fun to watch a lot of the ascension of some of these guys and then Aaron just continuing to do Aaron-like things.
Would it make you proud to have both Rookies of the Year, offensive and defensive, in the National Football League?
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. And I think it's something that these guys have earned the right to be in this conversation. You guys know I have so much respect for the caliber of players and competition in this league. But I don't know that there's two guys that are impacting their team more than those two guys are. When you look at what Kobe Turner's done, Byron Young could potentially even be in that conversation. Sure. And then Puka Nacua for us offensively, where, he's he's a few catches and a few yards shy of breaking some rookie records that are pretty special ones. And that's not even counting all the things that he does without the ball in his hands that make major positive impacts to our offense. So that would be something that would be a really special reflection of this class as a whole and really what they've meant to this team and the development throughout the course of the season.
Team success, the only thing that matters is W's. But hindsight, you got to fight for that stuff. I mean, you only come around once. No, you only get one chance to be a rookie and Rookie of the Year. You got to fight for that sort of stuff.
And the best part about it is you can fight for that while still doing what's best for the team. Mm-hmm. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Those go in alignment with one another. And so I think it's really cool. And I don't know why I was thinking about the preview deal that you did. You got me fired up leading into the Giants, where you talked about what 2023 should have been and starting into 24. I said, this is good stuff you got going, JB.
Hold on.
So I watched that.
What is your burner handle?
I just looked at it on the Rams website.
Okay, so you're not even on social. You're going to the Rams.com and giving them the hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, one for the team right there.
Will you write the Week 18 one for me? Because I'm having some trouble with what Sean going to do against the 49ers this week.
You know what? Hey. I got nothing for you right now.
I can give you my game plan. You want my game plan?
Yes, I do.
No. What will you do this week? That's kind of the question of the moment. I think it's one of the great privileges.
What would you do, JB?
I spent the whole flight home from New Jersey thinking about it. I really did.
Hey, as did I.
You didn't get this far not to have Matthew Stafford in the wild card round, for instance, right? But on the other hand, I think 6 over 7 matters. I don't know if you care about the opponent you play. I think Puka Nacua setting an NFL record for receiving matters. How are you juggling all of those dynamics?
Yeah, and all of those things are what you work through. And I think it is that balance of knowing that, yes, there's a difference between 6 and 7, between 9 and 10. I still think, we're going to do everything we can to try to go win this football game, play really good football. How exactly that affects the specifics are things that we're working through, because if you said, what is the most important thing? The most important thing is to make sure that we're ready to go for that wild card game. That is the thing, and how we balance that and how we make sure that we manage and navigate and negotiate this is something that, I don't have that exact answer right now, but I am working through it, and whatever we decide will be what we think is in the best interest of this team, moving forward one day at a time, and then ultimately leading into the playoff spot that they've already secured.
And we can't forget to mention Kyron Williams, 3 touchdowns on the ground again. And by the way, Noteboom was out there. Shocked, surprised everybody.
Noteboom did an awesome job. And, we got notification that late the night before that Alaric was not going to be able to play, was dealing with some stuff with his family. Expect him to return on Tuesday. If he wants to share what was going on, I want to respect his ability to share at his convenience and comfort. But Joe, you don't have many players like Joe Noteboom that can start at both tackles, the right guard spot, and all in wins this year on separate occasions. This guy does so much. He aggravated a plantar fascia in his foot, really early in the game and fought all the way through. He's really been, an absolute vital piece of this year for a lot of different reasons. I was really proud of him, and Kyron has been awesome. I thought he did a great job. They made him earn every single yard he got. And then you can see why he's got great ball security, because he watched his mom rip that TD away from the other fan.
I thought, how did he ever fumble twice a couple weeks ago when mom raised him like that?
That's
right.
With that strip.
She went out and got it. Yeah.
Don't piss her off.
Oh, man.
How about the front end of that play, though? Will you just kind of walk us through the way that unfolded, all the key blocks that paved the way, and you talked about the pressure, too, of New York and Wink. Like, that works against your run game, too. I'm sure they took away a lot of what you wanted to do on the ground because of how many they were sending.
Yeah, it did. You're talking about the 28-yard touchdown run. That was such a great job by Cooper. I mean, they basically brought, everybody that they could. Cooper did a great job securing the edge. Rob Havenstein, Kevin Dotson, Coleman Shelton at the point of attack, recognizing exactly what was going to go down, anticipating that movement. And then Kyron does such a great job of being able to press press puncture and then be able to weave in and then back out. And his feel as a runner is it's really special. And when you look at the stuff that he's done and the production that he's had and the toughness that he plays with, he's a stud. And if you had him on your fantasy team, he had a good day yesterday.
He's the fantasy.
I thought
guy.
you had him on your fantasy team.
I did when I gave him one a couple weeks ago.
That was awesome. Yeah. I told Higbee this, man. My favorite Tyler Higbee is the one that wears the neck roll, the cowboy collar. I mean, just physical, nasty.
What did he say to that?
He laughed. He's like, yeah, me too. And then he said Ernest Jones is wearing a cowboy collar because of him. I'm like, hey, so what? Yeah. But I love that sort of guy. When you're playing that sort of game, when you have a tight end that's that physical.
Yeah, he is that. And he's done such a good job. You know, he's got that C on his chest, and it has certainly been earned from the respect that he has from his teammates and the consistency at which he approaches every single day. I love Tyler Higbee. He represents a lot of the good things in terms of the grit, the mental and physical toughness that we want this team to embody that I think are some of the best characteristics of this football team.
I named my truck after him, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, it's Tyler. when I started up.
Oh, they're going to say Big Rig.
No, just start the Tyler.
Tyler is a New Year's Day baby, by the way, so happy birthday to Tyler Higbee here today. We talked a little bit about the individual record for Puka Nacua. It's within his grasp in Week 18, in part because of the 80-yarder he ripped off down your sideline. How'd you see that one?
I saw it as an unbelievable throw by Matthew.
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson, I was watching him the whole time. He was kind of in that off-catch technique, and he's a really good, off-trigger player. Matthew put it in the perfect spot, and then if he didn't look back, I think he's finishing that all the way. He's got great ability to be able to finish, but what a job pulling through those arm tackles, and then he ends up getting the lead block for Kyron on the touchdown that he punched in. But this guy is a freaking stud. It was awesome.
It's unreal.
And
I like 80-yard plays.
Unreal, yeah. Looking at the Jumbotron on the way down the field.
Right there in his corner.
Right there. Yeah.
I love the way you kind of saved those jet sweeps, too, to ice some games these last couple of weeks. I mean, I imagine having him turning a corner, being able to shake a tackle or stay in bounds is a real asset as you try and run 4-minute
It's
mode.
huge. You get some different defensive structures, and he's done a really good job. And I thought, big-time 15-yard run. He had another good 4-yard positive run on those two plays, but he has just made, contribution after contribution with the ball, without the ball, as a runner, as a receiver, and he just keeps getting better. He is a fun guy to be around. He's just got such a great play energy. Really, a lot of our guys do, but he is certainly one of those guys that stands out, and still got such a great humility about himself.
Holy smokes, you're in the playoffs. I have to say that again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's great.
I'm having fun watching people eat blank burgers.
Well,
I am. The ones that counted you out.
Here's the thing, though. This team has earned it. And I think the journey that we've had has made it all the more sweet, because it wasn't just a smooth sail all the way through. The fact that you started out 3-6, and I think all three of us knew when we were sitting here, even throughout, it's like, there's still some good stuff. And we had some injuries where you're saying, man, that was a tough game, but we get this guy back. We're capable of it. And even when we came up short in some moments early on, you could still feel there was a trajectory that was in alignment with going in the right direction. And and I think that was really a cool thing, that these guys stayed steady. And then there was really a heightened sense of urgency coming off the bye. There was a refreshed renewal based on just some guys being healthier. You get some guys back after that, and I don't think it's by coincidence that we've played as good a ball as we have, and I'm not surprised. I'm just proud to be associated with it. And you don't take for granted anything in this league, but it has made us more gritty, more tough, because there's been a lot of things that we've had to navigate through that weren't easy, and I don't think a lot of teams would have done it the way that these guys have.
You said it better than me. Yeah.
And yet I think 4 quarters in all 3 phases is still out there for you this season.
Yeah.
Has it happened yet?
I think we've shown it in glimpses. I think we've played some games where we played 3 quarters. I don't think we've had one where we play a full 4 quarters yet. And if we are able to do that, then you feel really good about our chances. And I just love the opportunities that have been earned by this group, the way that they've handled a lot of good pressure situations in the right way. And here we go with another one. We'll finish off the regular season, and then looking forward to getting this thing going.
What do you do at kicker moving forward?
Yeah, we'll bring Brett Maher back.
Okay.
There was some options out there. When you look at it, I do think that the thing that I have to acknowledge is there was a lot of attempts over 50 when he was here in the beginning. those are things that even with some of the best kickers that have been doing it at a high level for a long time, those are harder percentages. But we do want to be more accurate when you're in that 40 to 49 range. He's shown some consistency. He did a good job for us earlier in a lot of those kicks that were in some of those types of situations, and so felt like that was going to be in the best interest of our operation to bring Brett back in here.
It can't be a tough situation. I mean, he's got to be happy the phone is ringing, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and you're happy that he's available.
We're happy that he's available. Yeah. He's a guy that we liked being around. It was really more of, felt like let's give Lucas an opportunity. He had a lot of upside. He showed that. I'm still not ready to write the story on him either. Mm-hmm. You've seen a lot of great kickers in this league that go through some early career adversity, and then they end up finding their way and their consistency, because he does have ability. And I'm grateful to things that he did do, but felt like Brett was going to give us a better opportunity and to be a little bit more successful moving forward.
Health-wise, how'd you come out of Week 17?
Came out pretty good. Higbee banged his shoulder up. Joe, I mentioned with the plantar fascia. Jordan Fuller sprained his ankle, but I think he's going to be okay. Bobby Brown's knee was positive. He'll be day-to-day, but I think he'll be in good shape. And I think really everybody else should be good to go this week.
Love Jordan getting back-to-back picks and doing it in front of his hometown there. How about Ernest Jones? Rams single-season tackle record, despite missing a game, going past James Laurinaitis.
I found that out earlier. I wish I would have known that so that I could have given him his flowers at the team meeting. But I did go into the weight room when the defense was lifting. 142, missing a game. I mean, it's really impressive. This guy's made a huge impact. Really happy for Ernest and all the main things he's done.
You went into the weight room and told him that?
Well, I felt bad, and then you just reminded me, and I forgot that I didn't announce Higbee's birthday in the team meeting, so I feel like I'm Coach today, man.
You got to stop.
You got a lot going on, Coach.
Social media videos.
Too many of those vodkas, I'm brain dead, huh?
Come on.
That 2-yard TFL, though, who knows if that's the difference between a Mason Crosby make or miss.
Yeah. I think it makes a difference. Yeah. I certainly think it didn't hurt at all. But he's a stud, not only as a player, but as a person, more importantly. And I've been really happy to see, all the positive things that he's brought to this team.
Demarcus Robinson keeps a special streak alive. He still hasn't missed the playoffs in his time with the Chiefs, the Ravens, and now the Rams.
How about
and he had
that?
a season-high 92 for you. How about the way he's emerged and kind of brought your 11 personnel trio back together?
He's been great, and he does a good job without the ball. He's explosive. He's a big target. You feel the catch radius. There's nobody that's going to be harder on himself than he is on the one that he put on the ground yesterday, but it's always about the response. This guy's mentally tough too. I keep saying that about these guys. I think that's one of the best things about this team, but he's got a swagger, and he's just got the swag that he brings to our offense is something that I think has really helped. And I just love the way that those guys complement each other when you talk about Puka, Cooper, D-Rob, and then Tutu obviously has the ability to make a lot of plays as well.
Sometimes all you need is an op, man. All you need is an opportunity.
Yeah.
And somebody to believe in you. And so there you are.
Yeah. And he has earned it, and he's done a great job. And again, tremendous amount of credit to Eric Yarber and the consistency at which he leads that room.
I want to take you back in time, if I can, Week 8, the Dallas locker room. I remember talking to you and asking, how bad is it with Matthew's thumb? And we all thought it was pretty bad, right? Fast forward to now and where you are. I mean, how razor thin is that margin between lights out and a chance to do something special in January?
We were talking about that earlier, and it really is. I mean, what we initially thought, we were almost both kind of in tears on the sideline during the game when he was out, and you kind of know that, man, I messed my thumb up, and I thought it was we thought it was an injury that was going to require surgery. Fortunately, it only cost him a couple weeks. The bye was at the right time where we missed the Packers game, which that was a really tough one without him. And then you get him back. And I remember talking to him over the bye, and there was a confidence and there was a belief. And he said this to me. He said the same thing to Aaron, because I know Aaron and I talked about it on the flight back yesterday, that thought we could play well, thought we could really get on a little run and find a way to get in. And he was prophetic in a lot of ways, but I think it was the belief that he had and the caliber at which he could lead and play, and guys be able to follow his lead, and then us play better as a team. And it's not by mistake that he's led us to a 6-1 mark since that time. But that, you talk about those margins, it's unbelievable. And you've always kind of felt like there was something really special in store for this team. I don't know what it was that I could exactly put my thumb on, but I know this, there's been something that's just kind of stayed consistent in terms of that real belief. And And they continue to come away and never really, you just don't take anything for granted, but they continue to amaze me, and we'll see where this thing goes, man.
Yeah, it's you put your thumb on it. It's Nine's thumb. I mean, it makes everything easier to have one of those guys at quarterback. All you have to do is your job and do it to the best of your ability, and you have confidence that that guy is going to take us down the field. That stuff you can't buy. That stuff you can't draft.
That's absolutely
That's how
right.
you got to know when you have a guy like that. Yeah,
no question.
One more milestone, and I'm sure you didn't bring this one up in the meeting. You're tied for second in Rams history now for regular season wins.
Nice.
With Chuck
I did
Knox.
not know that. That's
Congratulations.
Cool. Appreciate that.
Come on.
I really didn't.
John Robinson ahead of you.
How far ahead?
Within striking distance next season, if you can promise us there's going to be a Coach McVay Show 2024 edition.
That I can promise you.
Oh my God,
that's good.
That is so you. How far ahead? I love it. It's so you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on a
Appreciate
winning
you guys,
season,
man.
and go deep, will you?
Hey, let's do it.
All right, for Sean McVay, for D'Marco Farr, I'm JB Long. Yes, this is the season finale of the Coach McVay Show presented by Microsoft Surface, but for good reason. We're not going to waste his time next Monday.